rising, y'all. Not really. It is the freaking afternoon. Yeah, it's 1:30. But I haven't gotten an order yet. Like, I was literally just kind of laying there this morning. I didn't really get up till like maybe 30 minutes ago. But I was like, usually I'll turn on my Spark and I'll lay there until I get an order, and then that's when I'll start moving, start getting up and starting my day. But I just haven't gotten an order yet. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if it's just extremely slow today, but either way, I decided to fill my time doing something like going to Planet Fitness and doing some yoga. And then I'm going to shower, and then I'm going to do some laundry. If I still haven't received an order by then I'll just go ahead and do some laundry. And that's pretty much what is on the agenda for right now. I'm starting to feel a lot less anxious. But yeah, y'all, I was in the bed. I was asleep. Like, I was in the bed since I woke up at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And then I was like, I kind of don't want to get up. I think I turned on my Spark at like 8:30. And I didn't want to get up, and I've just been in the bed ever since, like literally from like 9 to 12. So I pretty much slept in today. So I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really refreshed. My legs and my feet really were tired from like standing at my externship all day the other day and the other days. So it was really nice to be able to like rest my feet and stuff like that. So no regrets, and it's a slow day anyway. So I mean, it wouldn't have made a difference. So yeah, we'll just head into the gym, do some yoga, and we will just enjoy the day. All right, y'all, so it is raining. Literally as soon as I left the gym, it started raining. So yeah, still a slow day. Still haven't received any good orders. This coffee is disgusting. Ugh. It literally says that it has canola oil in it. More canola oil than vanilla extract. I don't think I'm gonna finish it. It's starting to linger on the tongue, if you know what I mean. But anyway, I also got me a Jamba Juice pretzel because your girl's hungry. I wanted to get my laundry done before like dinner time-ish, because it might pick up during dinner time. I don't know. But I'm going to try and restart my app to see if that helps. But yeah, right now I'm just doing my laundry. I am hungry. So I think I'm going to make myself some noodles while I wait for my laundry to finish. And then hopefully I'll get some orders after my laundry's done. So yeah. Talk to you guys in a bit. Hey y'all, so I am back in my externship town. For some reason, like, it was just really slow today, so I wasn't able to get pretty much any orders. So I didn't really do any orders today. So I might as well have had the day off, honestly. I'm a little upset that I might as well have had the day off, but I was kind of like on call, I guess you would call it, all day. So I wasn't able to like fully rest or fully like really enjoy the day off. But I did get my laundry done. I did get some yoga done. I did have a nice shower and all of that. So I am happy and grateful about that. But yeah, tomorrow we're back onto the extern. And I look forward to completing that. I've been seeing a lot of synchronicities lately. One of them being 11:22 and 11:33 and now 11:44. So yeah, but on the ride back here, I was thinking about the difference between knowledge and common sense. And I feel like people kind of confuse the two. And when I say that, I mean how I got to this kind of particular topic of discussion. I was thinking about like my externship tomorrow, and I was thinking about like my experiences so far working in this new field, right, in this medical field. And I'm very observational. Like, one thing about me is I will observe everything. I see everything. I feel everything. I can read between the lines. I have really good discernment. And a lot of people will say, like, okay, so like my parent, well, I don't want to say my parents, my dad specifically, right? He is like the type of person that really holds, you know, people who are engineers, doctors, and lawyers in very high regard, right? Now, I can't really speak for engineers or lawyer. I can't really speak for engineers or lawyers because I've never like been around an engineer. I find engineers are more like of the on the smarter spectrum, right? Because of details that I'll get into a little bit later. But I feel like people tend to hold doctors and lawyers and engineers and just certain types of people in high regards because they're in these fields that get paid a lot of money. But now I'm starting to see like the bigger picture, not only like working in the field, and now I realize like why I am in that field and why I'm in the position I am in right now and experiencing the experiences that I am in right now, is to understand like higher truths. And not all doctors are essentially like smart, right? Because you have to understand that living in an economy such as we do, where your social status and your quality of life heavily depends on your income bracket, right? And the fact that doctors are, you know, up there in the income bracket, like they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars every year, right? As they should, right? Because it takes a lot of commitment when it comes to investing in your education, as well as the time invested in in your education. So it does pay off in the end, but you have to understand that it tends to attract people who are willing to simply just pay the money, right? Like, you have to think about this. You have to really think about this, right? When it comes to college, especially nowadays, right? Anybody can easily get accepted into a college, whether it be a junior college or a 4-year college, right? You literally just have to apply. It's just that simple. And if you don't get accepted into one, you might get accepted into another. You just keep applying and eventually you will get accepted into a college. Anybody can go to a college. Maybe not a prestigious one, maybe not like a Stanford or a Yale or a Harvard, but college is very much accessible for anybody who's willing to pull out a loan for it or just to put in the work to go and to put in the time. So you have to think about it, right? So boom, you go to college. After college, you go to you know, medical school. Now, when it comes to medical school, it's a little bit different because a lot of people say it's a lottery, right? And you have to be accepted into a medical school. But think about it. You know, who is doing the accepting, right? Who is gatekeeping, right? I feel like if you have the right references and you know the right people, it shouldn't be an issue, right? Because you have to be real here. There are people walking this earth who don't care, who don't have a moral compass, right? They're not thinking about the greater good. They're just thinking about what's in it for me, right? So a lot of people, especially like even my own instructor, when I was doing my medical assistant class, my instructor said that, you know, be kind and be nice and be friendly with everybody that you work with in the medical field, because it's about who you know, not about what you know, but who you know, that can propel your career, right? And at first when she said that, I was kind of like taken aback, because it's like you would think that people are where they are because they're knowledgeable. But sometimes people are just where they are because of the people that they know and the type of access that they have and the type of gambles that they're willing to take. So I'm thinking, like, you know, unless you're a specialized doctor, and even then, even if you are a specialized doctor, you're not supposed to be looked at like this high regard, but people do it anyway. But it's because people don't know any better, you know? Because at least with certain doctors, or at least the ones that I work with, they're not very specialized doctors. I mean, I'm sure they still had to put in the same amount of schooling and, you know, whatever, but they're not very specialized. And a lot of them kind of just try their best to diagnose the patient as much as they can, right, in order to send them to the right specialist that actually does, you know, the groundwork and everything like that. Because it's like, we're not really helping people. It's kind of like we help them by figuring out what they can do. And the thing is, like, you can't just go into a specialist office. You have to get a referral, which means you would have to go through a doctor that can, like a generalized doctor that you would go see, and then from there you would go, they will refer you to a specialist, right? Because a specialist won't even see you if you're not referred by a doctor who actually looked you over. Because you know what I mean? It's just, it's there's levels to this shit. I'm telling you, like, it's just crazy. But yeah, it's levels to this shit. And like, I was feeling like a certain sense of discernment, because you guys understand, like, there's an opioid crisis going on. And opioids, a lot of opioids are used to treat like pain in trauma patients. You know, when you are, you know, say you get hit by a car, you break a bone or whatever, and you know, you're usually prescribed some sort of opioids that can relieve pain relievers. And they're very strong drugs, they're very strong narcotics that you know, help relieve your pain while you heal. And so there's a crisis going on, and I've just noticed, like, some people come into the office and I feel like they would say that they're having this pain and that pain and this pain and that pain. And I don't know, it's just something in my gut. Something in my gut, you know what I mean? Something in my gut is just telling me that they're not really being 100% truthful, and they're just trying to get prescribed these drugs, essentially, right? And it's funny because some of them would say, like, oh, there's a pain reliever that we administer in the office. And they would, I'm not going to say the name or anything like that, because I don't know exactly how much of information, like, I don't understand, like, why I'm personally not seeing this type of content online, which is why I'm speaking out about it. But I don't want to, like, speak out too much, because I don't know exactly how much I'm able to say. But I'm not going to say any names of the patients, obviously, either. But people would come in and people would be like, oh, you know, they've given me that shot before, but it doesn't do anything for me, and I'm just in a lot of pain, and blah, 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 blah. And so, you know, I mean, I'm sure that they obviously have procedures in place where the client has to come in, the patient has to come in and take a urine test or take a blood test in order to see if they're actually taking the medicine prescribed. And it's going to be like a random specimen test to make sure that they're actually taking the medication that is being prescribed to them, and they're not, like, selling it, you know, secondhand or whatever, right? But it's still like, you know, like, I mean, think about it. And I understand, like, doctors can lose their license over these types of things, right? But that's not to say that people aren't still taking the risk. Because imagine if you can just prescribe somebody medication that is actually, like, prescribe somebody who actually is like an addict a certain medication that they like, that isn't fatal, right? Because it comes through a pharmacy, so it's not fatal, it's just addictive, right? But it's not fatal because it's not like coming through, you know, a drug pen or a drug lord or whatever. It's not like fentanyl or anything, but it's still addictive. And they just go to different doctors and they just complain about whatever pain, just so that they can get prescribed medication, so that they could take the medication. And it's just like, is this what's going on? Like, you know, there's just a lot going on with the Food and Drug Administration that is just a lot of things I raise my eyebrows at, because it's just like, what is going on? You know, like the food isn't fooding, the drugs are definitely drugging, but the food isn't really fooding. It's not giving natural, it's not giving real food, and it's making people sick to where eventually somewhere down the line, by the time they reach 40, they're on all these different types of medications. But by the time they reach 40, 50 years old, you know, and it's like people are like almost proud to say that, oh yeah, like here's my list of medications, as if it's normal. And no one's like questioning, like, is it even freaking normal to be on like all of these medications at once? Like, I can understand if you're like a cancer patient, or you're, you know, you have like Lyme's disease, or you have lupus, or you have something, but it's like you don't have anything and you're on all of these medications. It just, something's not adding up. And it's like, do doctors get extra points for putting their patients on, you know, do they get paid more for putting I don't know. I don't know. I don't necessarily know if I want to know, but it definitely makes me feel like I want to know, just so that I can understand the point and to kind of get to the bottom of it, because ultimately, like, I do want to deal with the mind and mentalities and different pathologies and different people. And I feel like everything starts with the mind. So for me, you know, I would definitely still want to be like a therapist or psychologist, but it's like, I don't want to get there and realize that my job is basically just trying to pair up all of my patients with the right drug and not actually have them get better. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be that type of person that's like, oh, I want to make sure that my patients are continuously sick, so they continuously come to me, so I feel like I have purpose in this, you know, dystopia that we've created, and it's constantly making me money. Like, that's kind of fucked up. Like, you know, like, damn, like maybe I should just be a fucking dietitian or something. Like, I don't know, y'all. But anyway, I say it to say that there's definitely a difference between being knowledgeable and having common sense. You know, being knowledgeable is reading something out of a textbook or regurgitating something that some smart person, you know, figured out. That's being knowledgeable. And being smart is taking that knowledge and actually applying it. But having common sense is being able to utilize your natural born senses to put two and two together. That's having common sense. And I feel like a lot of people just don't have common sense nowadays. Anyways, y'all, I don't want this video to be too long. It's just something that I was just thinking about on the way here. I hope I didn't say anything that can crucify me. But it's just something that I've been thinking, because it's just like, what if I try, like if okay, with the whole trans thing, right? People are saying that, like, you know, in order like to, you know, do your or start your transition, you start to take like hormones. And a lot of these trans people, and these, especially these trans young adults, would say that they would go into it like some sort of psychologist's office or whatever, some sort of doctor, and they would tell them that, like, oh, I'm feeling depressed, or, you know, whatever. You would just answer a couple of questions on a paper, some sort of questionnaire, and then they'll refer you to a psychologist or a specialist or whatever, and then you will talk to them for a little bit, and then boom, they just prescribe you whatever it is that you feel like you need. And then that's just that. There's no pushback. Right? It's like, dang, you know? My dad's a pharmacy tech, and I plan to talk to him about it. Right now, I just want to finish my program, because he is, you know, a lot to deal with at times. But right now, I don't really have the space for that. I don't really have the space for anybody right now. I just have the space to, you know, focus on myself right now. But I do plan on talking to him about that, because he works, you know, in that department. And so I'm gonna see if he has any 411. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But anywho, I'm gonna end it here. I don't want to ramble too much, but that was just on my mind. That's just what I've been, you know, thinking about on the way here. But yeah, I will talk to you all in my next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, y'all. Subscribe. My videos have been getting a lot of views lately, and I just feel like my subscriber count is not really, like, you know what I mean? If the views are giving 100, then the likes should be giving 100. If you made it this far, especially. But if you made it this far, you're a real one. So yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off and head to bed, and I'll talk to you guys later.